Hi, Jack.
Hello.
Hi, I'm recklessly spending money again.
On what?
What do you think?
Graha!
Yeah!
Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, wait. Hey, Jack, since you're here, can you tell Stream the story of Grahatia and me? You were there from the beginning.
Oh man. Oh man. Let me pop into stream and see who's here. I wanna see what kind of zooby wooby tail I'm spinning.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There.
Let's see.
Cole's here.
Hey Cole.
Cole's here.
All
Lester's
right.
here. Spicy Tuna Roll's here. Lyrinus is here. I think Seer is lurking. Yeah, Seer's lurking. But
All
go ahead.
right.
Ah! Thanks
Get
for the
yourself
reset.
some. Oh yeah, of course. All right. Strap yourselves in, guys. It's gonna be a not super long story, but it's a story. All right. So once upon a time, Final Fantasy XIV was on sale on Steam, and Jack over here, he's like, I want to play a Final Fantasy game. It's on sale. I'm gonna buy it, right? And I play it on this toaster, and I'm like, wow, this game's great. Around that time, I was starting to become friends with Cersei, right? College friends. And we get to talking, and I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV? It has a free trial. That time you could only go up to level 15, but
I thought it was level 30.
yeah, it was
It was somewhere. I thought it was like level 30, 15, level 30 something. Somewhere
yeah,
there.
I don't remember how it was back in the day. But, she tries it out, and then she's able to get her hands on a copy of it, right? And half of it came from insistence, because you have to remember, up to this point, Jack didn't miss a single time with video game references. To the point where Cersei no longer accepts video game recommendations from Jack, because they have all ruined her life, and it's great, right? So, this time she's like, at this point she's only 1 for 1, right? I recommended that she plays Fire Emblem Awakening, bam, cosplay for days, right? And then I go, hey, you should play Final Fantasy XIV. I showed her it a little, and she's like, yeah, I guess I could get into it. I mean, what the heck? And part of me thinks maybe she'd believe that she wouldn't get into it, and then she'd, redeem herself from Fire Emblem. No! She immediately goes bonkers. She starts out with looking at Thancred. She actually started out in Limsa Lominsa, right? But then, she got so butthurt that she didn't get to start out with Thancred that she replayed with her first ult just to see the Thancred dialogue, right? And then she goes through the main story. Thancred's there, whatever, he exists. When she beats the main story, I'm like, hey, now you can play that mess of content that I showed you in the beginning, the one with the Crystal Tower that references Final Fantasy III. And she's like, well, I never played Final Fantasy III, so I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. So she goes in. Immediately, Mr. Himbo Man himself walks up with his cat ears and all of her 12 FPS glory.
15!
She goes up to one of her
15
FPS glory, right? She goes up to her friend, our mutual friend, Christian, and we ask him, his name is Jessica Gage online. We go up to Gage and we're like, hey, can we see what this game is like on 60 FPS? So she just starts screenshotting this guy's face in like someone else's computer, and she's like, yes!
He sent them to me, by the way.
Yeah. And then if you guys know what happens in the main quest story, Graha goes on a camping trip for a while, right? And she's torn up. She's like, no! And she plays it with like 3 other alts the entire storyline just to hear his voice again, right? And I'm like, wow, she got it bad for this Graha. Then Heaven's Word comes out. Bam! You got my man Aymeric. Tall, dark, and elf-like. Well, not really, brooding is more of the word.
Brooding? No, that brooding is... It's Stydian.
Yeah. What? Well, whatever. Aymerick's okay.
Aymerick's nice guy. Aymeric is nice guy.
He's a nice guy, right? And she goes head over heels for Aymeric, because there's not even an ounce of Graha. He doesn't even have a voice, And Aymeric over here,
well, just
looking and sounding great, right? And Heaven's Word plot helped a lot too. So at that point, she's like, "Goodbye, Thancred. Goodbye, Graha. It's all about this guy, this blue Power Ranger looking ass, right?
Oh my.
That continues for a while, right? We get Stormblood. The whole time I'm watching her lose her mind over stuff. Ian's not that much of a hit. She's like, Ian's kind of handsome, but I don't know about that, you know? And so she like freaks out over Amric. Time passes, and I'm like, she's found herself a neat community in our free company, you know? We're having a good time. And every now and then she's like, oh, I miss the Crystal Tower. I miss Graha, right? Like, you don't know how bad she had it. She was like cosplaying with Wada and some of the others and like doing fanfics, which I support
Oh my
wholeheartedly.
god.
It was incredible to watch, right? She shared that with me, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Oh my god. Hi,
And then
Wild.
comes the Shadowbringers trailer, right?
Oh
Here comes
my
the
God.
Shadowbringers
Here we
trailer,
go.
and it's like you know when you have a childhood friend and they're like, remember when we were little and we promised we'd get married together and we'd see each other again, right? She's watching
What
this trailer. She
comparison is
sees
that?
just the glimpse of the Crystal Tower in the background, the mere aesthetic of it. She starts flipping out. She's like, does this mean? No, it can't be. He's dead. But is he? I don't know. We've never heard his voice before. What's that voice in the background? And I was like, maybe you shouldn't get your hopes up, but I want to call that it's Graha T. And she's like, don't. It's been too long, Graha. It's been 4 years since you toyed with my heart. I can't handle you again.
Oh
And
god,
then-
Wild is gonna make fun of me once you're
And then
done.
he just keeps going. She just keeps going through the story, and every time in the back of her head while she's going through Shadowbringers, she's like, Jack, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit if this is actually the cat-eared childhood friend situation. The hood comes off. There goes red-haired cat boy Himbo Supreme with those wiggly ears of his, and she goes, ah!
That's
It's
actually
incredible.
Accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah,
actually.
it's incredible, and for me, it was incredibly cathartic because I think a lot of the impact came from Shadowbringers echoing A Realm Reborn. You know, it did a lot of remixes. Eden aside, right? Eden's clearly just doing Realm Reborn remix, but a lot of the themes, a lot of the characters, even a lot of the ways that you're introduced to the Scions is repeated in Shadowbringers. It's kind of a retracing of your steps in a way. But everybody just gets a lot more character time, and our boy Graha ends up, you know, in the crew. And then, yeah, that's what sold it. And it was just really poetic is what it was. Like, at the time of her starting her streaming, she also gets to fall in love with her favorite character again. That's great. So that means during 6.0, we're gonna get a Twilight Part 2 here. Amaric's gonna come in and have beef with Graha.
No.
He's gonna have to choose. You're gonna have to choose. Amaric's gonna turn into a Templar werewolf.
No. This is where I draw the line. Absolutely not. No.
You're telling me you wouldn't
No.
eat that up. You're telling me
I
that if
know.
Amaric turned into a werewolf
No!
man, right?
No.
And Graha's the cat. You're telling me you wouldn't eat that up.
No. Wild, back me up here. Wild.
See-
Wild. Hello.
I've been here this whole
I-
time since Raha started.
I know. Can you back me up for like a second, please?
Crack you up with lunch.
that I would not eat that up. The Twilight love story shit.
What do you mean? You commissioned someone to make it.
You could imagine it. You could imagine it. Imagine Graha going into the background. Oh, so you too have a astute amount of responsibility bound to this spiraling tower, are you? And it goes, why, yes. Ancestry is such a troublesome thing to meddle with, no.
Hold up.
And Raha's like, yes, indeed.
Wait, when did you jump from like Twilight to like Bridgerton, like in 2 seconds?
I can't do their accents.
You tried.
I did.
You
I'm
really
going.
did. Oh my god.
You're telling me these two tall tower buddies wouldn't hit it off immediately?
Tower. Pyramid. Pyramid.
It's a love triangle. Yeah, I look forward to that. I look forward to Amaric interacting with Graha. Hope it happens in 6.0.
It's gonna be dot wanting to each other because they know.
I can't. I'm still processing that entire story. My Final Fantasy XIV origin story, as told by Jack Altrade.
Do you want to hear the not story related progression? Because that one's also funny.
Oh, is that like the job classes? The job classes, right? Where I'm like, okay, I'm a healer. I won't DPS, and then all of a sudden, like, as we continue going on, I stop caring about your health except the last one.
Oh yeah, you know how much of a trip it is to go to be in a dungeon with Cersei and be like, oh, is it my fault they died? Oh, I mean they're being reckless, but I should really watch them better. I'll do my absolute best to make sure that everyone stays healthy. You know, and I'm like, yeah, I agree, you know, and I was tanking at the time, and we had this safety first policy, right? And slowly but surely, for every 2 a.m. Crystal Tower clear, her consciousness erodes. Cersei becomes more jaded. She's like, hey, I could dodge this with 15 frames per second. Why don't you dodge it with a functioning brain for once?
You can dodge with 60 FPS. Come on, let's go.
And now come to today, where she's joined the glorious healer rank, where they take it as an insult if you use
12,
clemency
15,
on yourself.
somewhere there. It fluctuated. I was on a toaster laptop with, what was it, like 8 gigs?
Oh yeah.
6? Something? I think it was 8.
Do you remember the jank angles we'd have to have it on so it doesn't overheat?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was very...
I think it's like, I think even that aspect is poetic. I mean, you start the game with like this dingy laptop and nothing is optimized, but you're having fun. And as time goes on, you become more and more of a gamer. Just like the Warrior of Light.
Oh no, you're making this more poetic than it has to be. I'm not even playing Final Fantasy. We're playing Monster Hunter, and yet
Yes.
this is true. This is true. I did ask for this story. I'm gonna go get that cutscene now.